Yo guys, it's me again and welcome to the Teambuilder for MMC semifinals. I'm fighting against Mike who beat Steve in round 1 of playoffs. I beat Josh, so it's going to be a really tough game. Other semifinal is Elliot versus me, which is a rematch of like last season semifinal, which was awesome. And last season I also went to semifinals and then I lost, so let's hope that history does not repeat itself. Last season it wasn't Mike who was my semifinals opponent, so that's that at least. In my opinion, Mike has the best team in the league. He has the Palafin, Gouging Fire, Tornado Styrian, Shirachi, Donphan, Galarian Weezing, Ogre Pontiel, Bellybolt, Scrafty, and Giraffric, with his 3 Terracaps being those Bellybolt, Scrafty, and Giraffric. Bellybolt has Electric, Flying, and Water, which is a straight copy from NGWA Bellybolt. Scrafty has Dark, Fairy, and Poison, while Giraffric has Normal, Fighting, and Ghost. So, in my opinion, he has a really scary team. Like, Palafin plus Gouging Fire is insane. And then he has pivots in Torn T, in Jirachi, in Ogre Pontiel, even in Bellybolt. So, it's going to be really hard. I think his team matches up relatively fine against mine. Like, I really am not going to be bringing Rain against the Palafin and Tornado Styrian team. So, that's like half my team that I really shouldn't be bringing. Although, as you will be able to see, I am going to bring something intriguing. Gouging Fire and Palafin are both ridiculously strong offensively. And then Jirachi is really annoying with T-Wave, Iron Head, Shenanigans, and Headbutt. And then Galarian Weezing is a really good Poison type, which is also a Fairy type, so he could run Levitate to be immune to Ground Moves, but I don't think he will because I do not have a Ground type. So I do think he will be running Neutralizing Gas. Maybe just to absorb T-Spikes, because I don't think it really stops one of my abilities. Like, I don't think any one of my Pokemon is going to be impacted by Neutralizing Gas, but none of them are impacted by Levitate either. I mean, Hisuian Braviary is impacted by Levitate, but I just Psychic it, so... I think he will bring a Neutralizing Gas on the Galarian Weezing. He can also Defog. Donphan is a really good rocker as well as a spinner. Jirachi can also bring rocks, I forgot to mention that. And then Bellybolt is really damn annoying. It looks quite decent against my Rain team as well, because like I have Rain, so I'm weak against electric types. And Scrafty is a really annoying Pokemon. Like, my best answer for it is Skarmory, which just has not a good matchup in my opinion. With Bellybolt, with Gouging Fire, and I like Torn T and Jirachi can just easily run coverage for it, which isn't incredible for me. And like, what's the name? Clefable would be relatively okay with versus Crafty, but he does have Terra Poison, so I am quite scared of this team. I think he will be bringing Palafin and Tornado Styrian for sure, because they deal with my Rain. I think he'll also bring Jirachi as like a Wish Buster with Stealth Rocks and T-Wave just to be really annoying against me. I think Bellybolt comes, because it's quite decent against my Rain Pokemon. Like, I wouldn't be too surprised to see Terra Water on it. I also think Scrafty comes because it's a good natural check versus Dragapult. And then he has one more slot, which could be Gouging Fire, which could be Donphan. I think it's going to be Galarian Weezing, so I'm expecting Palafin, Torn T, Jirachi, Galarian Weezing, Bellybolt, and Scrafty. Which probably aren't the 6 you would really expect when you see his team, but I'm not too sure Gouging Fire looks that good into me. If it doesn't come, I'll be happy. If it does come, I think I do have the tools to deal with it. Anyway, let's see what I am bringing. Up first is my Dragapult with a weakness policy. I have Dragon Darts, Draco Meteor, Shadow Ball, and Hex, so I'm bringing Stab on 2. So I'm bringing 2 Stab moves each. With Clear Body, I'm only running Clear Body to not get impacted by Scrafty's Intimidate, because I do want to Dragon Dart it. But it also helps against like Tornado Styrian with Bleak Wind Storm. Like, if it gets a speed drop on my Dragapult, it will outrun me, so Clear Body helps prevent that. I would have liked to be Infiltrator, because then he can't be running Substitute on Palafin or Substitute on like Gouging Fire. But I think he probably respects Clear Infiltrator, so I don't think he will be running it. And I have other ways around Substitute if I really have to. So the reason why I'm bringing this Dragapult, it is faster than everything. So Mike's fastest Pokemon is Tornado Styrian. I am faster than that. Yes, 1 point faster than that. And then I have enough attack to, I think that Oko's Tornado Styrian after my weakness policy gets procced with the Dragon Darts. So I have 212. Yeah, Dragon Darts, always Oko's max HP Tornado Styrian after my weakness policy gets procced, which is interesting. Draco Meteor I am bringing because it deals the most damage to Palafin. It does more than T-Bolt and it does more than Dragon Darts, unless he runs like a SPDF set, but then I can just Dragon Darts that, which is okay. I have Shadow Ball for Jirachi as well as for Galarian Weezing. But then for my last move, I am bringing Hex, because as you will be seeing later, I am bringing T-Spikes, so Hex would be really nice against Pokemon that are poisoned already. Like for example, if the Palafin is poisoned, I can just Hex it instead of Draco Meteoring. I can also Hex the Donphan instead of having to click Draco Meteor. Scrafty, which would be really important, the Scrafty goes Terra Fairy, otherwise I can just Dragon Darts it, so. This is Dragapult. The reason why I'm bringing Weakness Policy is because I think I will be able to trigger it on, like, for example, a Strange Steam from Galarian Weezing, or on a knockoff from the Donphan, or from like an Ice Shard from the Donphan, even a knockoff from the Tornado Styrian, I could all switch my Dragapult in on, so. Like, Dragapult is my Ghost type, so it is quote-unquote my spin blocker. If I want to be switching in my Dragapult on Donphan and I click Knockoff, I will be activating my Weakness Policy, which would be really damn nice. But I think my main target for it is Galarian Weezing with Strange Steam. Because otherwise I don't really switch in too easily on Galarian Weezing. The Pokemon that I would switch in is like Hisuian Quillfish probably. And I'd rather save Hisuian Quillfish for the other Pokemon that it's meant to deal with. So I know I'm minus SPDF, but I am bringing something else to help out with that. And I really didn't want to be minus defense when I could switch it on like a knockoff from Donphan or knockoff from Torn T, as well as like Ice Shard Donphan, Jet Punch Palafin. So I think the SPDF is not as important as the FizzDef. I'm hoping this Dragapult works. Like if I do get my weakness policy off, I think I am in a really good position, especially if I don't see Scrafty and if the Donphan has its sturdy broken. I think this could just go in and claim everything, but it does need a lot of help from my teammates. So, my second Pokemon is my Ogerpon Wellspring with Ivy Cudgel, Hornleech, U-Turn and Swords Dance. Basic set with very interesting EVs. I have Spedcraft, Jirachi, Speed Creeping, Electivire. That also Speed Creeps Palafin, Speed Creeping, Electivire, so I didn't go faster than his base 100s. If they are running max speed, they will outrun me. But I don't think Palafin will be outspeeding me anyway. And Jirachi, I also am not too sure about. Like, if it comes, I think it's either going to be defensive, so it should be faster than that, or Choice Scarf, which always outruns me anyway. And I really am not bothering speed tying and Ogerpon Grass, so I Spedcraft my own Electivire, and him speed creeping that, so he should have 319 on his Palafin and Jirachi if he speed creeps. I have 320 on my Ogerpon. And then I have enough attack to KO Galarian Weezing with Ivy Cudgel into a +2 Ivy Cudgel. So let's say he switches in Galarian Weezing on my Ogerpon Wellspring and I click Ivy Cudgel. I should be doing around 33 to 34%. I switch out. Next time Ogerpon Wellspring comes in, I click Swords Dance, he switches in Galarian Weezing and it should die. That's the attack investment. And then the rest of my EVs, I split between HP and defense. I have a lot of defense, as you can see, and a little bit of HP. This is to give me the best chance of living Acrobatics from the Palafin, which is not a good chance at all if he is running Adamant with Adamant without an item. But I'm not too sure he will be running that. Like, I think he could also be running mixed with like Grassot for Politoad. Anyway, like, it's not my switch-in for Palafin anyway. It can deal with that. But this is my main switch-in for the Donphan if I do not want to use Bolt early. So a lot of defense also really helps out well versus the Donphan. I have Ivy Cudgel as my move that I will be clicking most of the time. Like, I'm only going to click Hornleech when the Palafin or the Donphan are out and I need HP. But even then, when they are out, they probably want to switch out anyway, so I might as well click U-Turn or Swords Dance, which could be better. I have U-Turn for momentum, but I'm not really planning to click it that often. Like, when I know for sure that I'm going to get a hit off, I would rather click Ivy Cudgel or even Swords Dance, The reason why I still have U-turn is like, for example, that Weezing scenario comes through and I have Ivy Cudgel, Weezing is at 70%, I click Swords Dance, Weezing comes back out, and I'm suddenly at +2 and the Weezing has died. He could go to Torn T, I will switch out hard. If I am not at +2, for example, and I do just kill the Galarian Weezing, I feel like he probably could go into like Belly Bolt or Scrafty as a defensive answer instead of Tornado Styrian, and then I can just fast U-turn out. I'm not really planning on predicting a switch. I'm clicking U-turn. I'd rather just click U-turn when there is a defensive Pokemon in front of me. For example, the Galarian Weezing as well. I click Ivy Cudgel on the Weezing, do 30%, instead of having to hard swap, I can just U-turn. So that's why I have U-turn. I think I'll be clicking Swords Dance more often though, because this Ogerpon does not have great switch-ins for him. Like, I think the only thing he can really do against this Ogerpon is going to Tornado Styrian. But like, is he going to switch it in hard on my Ogerpon? Like, I still two-shot it with Ivy Cudgel. Obviously, I don't live a Bleakwind Storm or a Hurricane, but he could miss those. And yeah, it's a really interesting Ogerpon EV spread. It's a really basic moveset, but I think it looks really damn important. The main answer for this Ogerpon is, in my opinion, Galarian Weezing, and I think I should be able to beat that 1v1. And as I mentioned with Dragapult, the Galarian Weezing could just be the ticket to trigger my weakness policy. My third Pokemon is my Hisuian Braviary with Terra Ground and Heavy Duty Boots. I have Terra Blast Ground, Hurricane, Psychic and Defog with Sheer Force. I Spatcrat my own Skarmory having 16 speed EVs. So his speed tiers are weird. He has Giraffrake, which is 85, but I'm not expecting that. And then he drops to Galarian Weezing, which is 60, Scrafty is 58, Donphan is 50, and Bellybolt is 45. Faster than Giraffrake will always be faster than Braviary anyway, because they will be running offensive. So I think the only Pokemon that should be around Braviary's speed tier that could have a little bit of speed is the Scrafty. And like, he could just make his Scrafty speed creep a Skarmory with a little bit of speed EVs. So if my Skarmory has 16 speed EVs, it hits 180. His Scrafty could speed creep that and go to 181. I have 182 on my Braviary. To summarize, I should just be faster than everything that's defensive with this Braviary. And then I have max special attack, and all the rest I have pumped in HP, because I want to be bulky and really strong, because in my opinion he doesn't switch in well with this Braviary. Terra Blast Ground hits most of his team really hard, like his only immunities or resistances are Tornado Styrian, Ogerpon, and then Galarian Weezing if it's Levitate. Ogerpon and Galarian Weezing, they do not want to appreciate a Hurricane. Galarian Weezing just dies to a Psychic. And Tornado Styrian also just doesn't appreciate Hurricane or Psychic unless it's Assault Vest. It's just nice to have this Braviary deal damage. And I think it also kind of forces in the Palafin when I go Terra Ground. And it would be really nice to force in the Palafin and let it get poisoned by my T-Spikes. Because I also have Ogerpon Wellspring and I will be bringing Politoed as well. So I do think I have decent enough answers for the Palafin. So if I bait it out, it's nice. And for my last move I went for Defog over U-turn. Because same thing with Ogerpon, I think if I can just do damage with this Braviary, I prefer that and gain momentum. Like, I think I can switch defensively around his offense instead of having to preserve momentum offensively. And then just maybe even make a double or sack my defensive Pokemon and then go into one of my other offensive Pokemon. I don't think I need momentum as much. I thought about Roost over Defog. But like, he has Jirachi and he does have Donphan, which are both really good Stealth Rock Pokemon. And I have Ogerpon Wellspring, which can't hold an item. I have Hisuian Quillfish, which is an Eviolite Pokemon, so every time they come in, they will be taking 12.5% from Stealth Rocks, which I really don't want. So I have Defog to, hopefully, if I need to, get rid of hazards. But I'm not planning on it, unless it's really necessary, because I do want my T-Spikes up. That being said, if I have poisoned the Palafin and like the Belly Bolt, for example, I am more than fine clicking Defog and getting rid of my own T-Spikes. So, main priority with this Braviary is to damage, but like Defog could be really helpful to help my other Pokemon. My fourth Pokemon is Hisuian Quillfish with an Eviolite. I have T-Spikes, Crunch, Barbarage and Pain Split, but I am not too sure yet about which set I am going to bring. I am torn between his Intimidate set and his Poison Point set, so the difference between them, I have no speed investment on this Quillfish, so I have max HP on both, And then I invested a little bit. So let's start with this Intimidate one. This one has enough defense to always live always live 2 Stomping Tantrums from max attack Ogre-Pon. Because with Intimidate, I do actually give it a boost. So if the Ogre-Pon comes, it will get to +1 when I switch my Quillfish in. But I still take 2 Stomping Tantrums, and then I put the rest in special defense. Because this Quillfish's main goal is to switch in on the Jirachi. But like, this is also my answer for the Ogre-Pon, because I'm not bringing Skarmory. So if I am scared of the Ogre-Pon, I'd rather bring this Poison Point one, which has a little bit different EVs. As you can see, I have a little bit less defense and a little bit more SPDF. This Poison Point one has enough SPDF to always lift 2 +1 Flash Cannons from Jirachi with max special attack. So I am not too sure yet which one I am going to bring. I am leaning towards this Intimidate set, because I really don't think the Ogre-Pon comes. I have a Skarmory, I have a Dragapult, I have this Hisuian Quillfish, I have a Hisuian Braviary. And Intimidate is quite useful for Scrafty, as well as helping out with Palafin and Gouging Fire. And even if this Ogre-Pon comes, it's not like it really threatens me. Even if it's like Sword and Stomping Tantrum, I still take one, and Barbarage does a shit ton to it. I don't die to Stomping Tantrum into Trailblaze even when he goes to +3, so it's not like he can speed boost its Ogre-Pon up to go faster than my Dragapult. So I am leaning to this Intimidate one, but this Poison Point one is also quite useful. If he, for example, tries to flip turn with Palafin on the lead matchup and I get a Poison Point, then my T-Spikes are already accomplished its goal. Palafin is poisoned. It could also work with like Tornado Styrian trying to U-turn or trying to knock me off. Even with Gouging Fire, if it's heavy duty boots and I switch this Quillfish in to deal with it, for example, and I get a Poison Point, it would be really nice. So I'm not too sure yet. I think I will be bringing Intimidate, basically expecting the Ogre-Pon to not come, but don't be too surprised if it is the Poison Point set. I will mention it when we have the team preview. Main goal though for this Quillfish is to get up T-Spikes to poison the Palafin and to deal with the Jirachi, which is its main purpose. My first Pokemon is my Politoed with Leftovers. I am bringing a Water Absorb with Berry Song, Whirlpool, Haze and Protect. This is a very degenerate set. I have max defense and then I have the most amount of HP. I could have to have a number divisible by 16 +1 once again, so to maximize my lefties, but the rest in SPDF. So this Politoed in theory should just beat Palafin as well as Gouging Fire. Come in on it, click Whirlpool so they are trapped, click Perish Storm and they just die in 3 turns. And I can switch out. I have Haste to make sure if the Gouging Fire wants to Dragon Dance and potentially beat me while the Perish Song is still going on, or while the Palafin wants to be clicking Bulk Up and potentially beat me, I should still be fine because I have Haste, and I have Protect to maximize my lefties and to just stall some turns. This is very, very degenerate, I am well aware of it, and I don't care. So, I think this Politoed has a really good defensive matchup. Like, if I can just beat Palafin and the Gouging Fire, or one of the two, it's incredible. This also works against the Scrafty, if the Scrafty gets out of hand, so really damn important. I am bringing Braviary to deal with Scrafty offensively, by the way, because otherwise, I thought about bringing Clefable, but the Scrafty, if it goes Terra Poison, it just could sweep through my team if it's like a Dragon Dance or Bulk Up SPDF set. I won't be able to beat it without Braviary, so that's why I'm bringing Braviary. Yeah, this Politoed could also help against that Scrafty if I really need to, but it's the main answer for Palafin and Gouging Fire. Even if the Palafin is max special attack, life orbed with Grass Knot, I will be taking 2, so I can click Whirlpool, I can click Perish Song, and I can stall with Protect. So, important enough. I think this Politoed has a really damn good purpose. I'm hoping at least. And my last Pokemon is an Electivire with a Light Clay. Light Screen, Reflect, Volt Switch, and Knockoff with Motor Drive. I am bringing this Electivire to deal with Belly Bolt, because otherwise I really can't switch in well on it. If the Belly Bolt comes in and just starts clicking Volt Switch, I get stuck in a Vortex, which I really don't want to. So this Electivire is quite good. It's also decent enough against like Jirachi and Tornado Styrian defensively. And dual screens are really nice. They help out my Dragapult to trigger its weakness policy, so even when with my minus SPDF nature and no bulk at all, the strange team from Galarian Weezing should only do like 45% maximum on a max roll. So I can take 2 of those, trigger my weakness policy and go in. Reflect helps for taking like knockoffs and eye shards, as well as like, what else is super effective? Or like Ice Mage for Palafin, I guess. So dual screens are really important, and I do think that its Electivire kind of baits in the Donphan, which isn't bad for me, because if I go into Electivire, I will just click knockoff, hopefully get the Donphan, and it loses its item. If it is heavy duty boots, then it can't come in on a T-Spike anymore. If it is leftovers, I knock off its lefties. Like, I will just break it sturdy, which is really important for my Dragapult to just sweep, because I cannot sweep the Donphan obviously when its sturdy is still intact. My Dragon Darts will never do enough to break, to KO it for full. So, break sturdy on Donphan is really important. And on Donphan, I can just easily go into my Ogerpon, like I mentioned, and switch in easily, start taking Ivy Cudgel, really important. And if I have a Reflect on, it's even more free to go into my Ogerpon. Other than that, Volt Switch is really free against his team. If he doesn't bring the Donphan, I can just Volt Switch out for free, which is important. And for my EVs, I put enough speed to go faster than a Scrafty that should outspeed my Ogerpon after a Dragon Dance. So I think Scrafty to go faster than Ogerpon after the Dragon Dance hits 234 at neutrals. That's why I have 235. That also helps like for him speed creeping like a no speed Electivire, I guess. I could have run a little bit more for like a no speed Chirachi or a no speed Palafin, but then I need quite a fair bit, and I don't think either of those is that likely. So I just went faster than a Scrafty that has enough speed to go faster than Ogerpon Wellspring. Then I have max HP and the rest in SPDF to help out with Tornadus Tyrion. I think this is a very interesting semifinals team. Like, I'm not bringing Terapagos, I'm not bringing Clefable, I'm not bringing Skarmory, so it's a little bit scary. I am bringing a Politoed without Rain. I am potentially bringing a Quillfish with Poison Points. I am bringing a Weakness Policy Dragapult. I have really interesting Pokemon, but I do think they look good enough against Smike. Like, if I, for example, get everything correctly, like, for example, I get my T-Spikes up at Quillfish turn 1, then I can go into Ogerpon, do like 30% on Galarian Weezing, go into Electivire, click a knockoff on the Donphan, then the Weezing is in range already for +2 Ogerpon, the Donphan has its sturdy broken, I have T-Spikes up for the Palafin, and like I could click Reflect on the Donphan, or I could just go hard into Ogerpon again, or hard into Dragapult, and potentially go from there. The thing that Dragapult needs is just a Donphan sturdy broken and a little bit of chip on the Galarian Weezing, if the Scrafty isn't there. If the Scrafty is there, I will have to preserve this Dragapult's weakness policy for sure, but then I can just play my Braviary more early on and like go from there. I do think I have good enough sets to potentially win the semifinals and break my semifinals curse and break my MMC curse, because I have lost both times in semifinals so far in MMC. But yeah, thank you all for watching this very in-depth team builder. 23 minutes. I think this is a new record for me. I will see you in the battle. Peace. Okay, people, we are searching for Mike. I changed a little bit from my team builder. I made my Hisuian Quillfish actually very SPDF with Poison Points to switch in on Tornadus Tyrion, so no Intimidate. And my Electivire, I actually did speed sweep the no speed Chirachi and Palafin. Okay, we do not see the Scrafty, which is nice, and we don't see the Chirachi either. Okay, Palafin, let's come. We do see Ogerpon, so now I'm kinda happy that I didn't bring the Intimidate. Interesting that he does bring Ogerpon. I wasn't really expecting that. Gouging Fire. Oh, these are the scary Pokemon. Thorn, T, Weezing, Galar. Okay. And Belly Bolt. I do have designated switches to all of these, which is nice. Belly Bolt has Electric, Flying, and Water. So maybe the speed investment on my Electivire isn't this useful anymore, because I don't think the Palafin will have no speed investment at all. But like, I still have it. No Chirachi, but Weezing. Okay. It's kind of decent for my Dragapult's weakness policy plan. Hopefully this works. I am leading off with Quillfish to set up T-Spikes immediately. If he is the Weezing with neutralizing gas, then he will absorb them. But I can still go into Electivire to set up screens on that thing. It should be okay. yeah, other than that, it doesn't have removal, so it's very important. Yeah, okay, he has default on his Weezing too, but it doesn't matter. Have fun to Mike. I'm slightly nervous, because I am bringing a weird team to semifinals. Like, I am not bringing Terapagos, nor Clefable, nor Skarmory. So, ooh, a little bit stressed. But it's going to be fun, I think. Do we get the Palafin against my Quillfish? No, we keep the Overball. It's even better. He could Spike Stack me. What a weird camera angle. What a weird camera angle. Honestly, should I just click Bar Barrage immediately and then click T-Spikes after? Because he may try to taunt me, he may try to spike. I would like some damage on this thing. And if he goes hard into Weezing, I get damage and then I can click T-Spikes after. So I think I'm going to click Bar Barrage. U-turns. 278. 278. 17. That's 22, 33 is 55 damage. Hit a U-turn. That's a mineral. Here comes Palafin. Come on, poison it immediately, Quill. Poison it immediately, Quill. Ah! Good try, though. It's bulky. It's very bulky. I'm setting up my T-Spikes here. Okay, it does have Flip Turn. Come on, trigger. Damn! Flip Turn. U-turn. I should check my damage. Weezing comes out. But I do have my T-Spikes immediately now. So that's good. Let's see. I was at 278 from the U-turn from the Ogre Bomb. And now I am at 218. So he did 60 with his Flip Turn. That is definitely not Choice Bandit. Is that Adamant? Probably. Or an absolute max roll from Jolly. But I don't see why he would be bringing that. I'm going hard into Electivire here. I'm going hard into Electivire. He doesn't have an immunity. So let's see what this Weezing is going to do against my Electivire. Hard defog. Okay. Okay. Defogs. Interesting. That's not good for my screens. I think I would like to Volt Switch back into my Quillfish. Yeah. Do some good damage to this Weezing. Go back into the Quillfish. Go back into the Quillfish. Wisps. Okay. That's not great for Dragapult. Unless he doesn't have a Soul Dust, of course. Black Sludge on the Weezing. Black Sludge on the Weezing. Let's click T-Spike again. He's going to click Extreme Steam. Which doesn't do much damage to me. Strange Steam. I'm getting weakened, but I will get some damage on this Weezing again now with a Bane Split. Get another defog off. Which I'm assuming is going to happen here. Yeah. All I do. Oh, he wisps again. Okay. Okay, I'm going hard into Braviary. Let's go hard into Braviary. If he clicks Defog, that's okay. If he clicks Wisp, that's okay. And I'm going to do some insane damage to him. So, let's go hard into Braviary. And then he has to show me a switch. think he probably levitate. I don't think I saw neutralizing gas. My evasiveness fell, but I do not give a fuck. Alright. Here we are. Here we go. I'm going to click a Psychic, because it's stronger than Terra Blast. It's super effective against this thing. I don't have to Terra. And I am going to dent something. So, I'm assuming the Belly Bolt or the Tornadus wants to come out. If it is the Belly Bolt, it should still take a shit ton of damage. No, it's Tornadus. Torn Tyrion. Psychic. Oh, Braviary, my hero! Okay. I'm just going to click Psychic again. Like, I think I will Terra though. Yeah, because I don't mind losing my typing here. And I'll just click a Psychic again. I don't want to be taking a super effective knockoff. Like Liquid Storm and Hurricane, still the same thing to me. Let's see. He clicks U-turn. 337. What's going to take this? U-turn. 63, 972. That's a max roll from no investment. Okay. What are we going to let this in a U-turn? What are we going to let this Psychic Clark something? That's what I'm trying to say. If I clicked Hurricane, would that thing have died? No, it wouldn't have. Well, I've always lived. So it's fine, I click Psychic instead of Hurricane on that wheezing. I am recording, right? Yes, I am. Okay. What are you going to switch in on me? What are you going to switch in on me? Belly Bolt. Okay. Let's go, Braviary! Keep clicking Psychic. Belly Bolt dies. Belly Bolt dies. Braviary takes out the Belly Bolt. I think we're forcing in Paladin. Okay. This is Politoad's time to shine. Obviously. He could set up, but I do have Perish Song, so I think I should be okay. Let's go. Paladin, Hero. It's not Choice Band, I know that for sure. Politoad. Okay. Wave crashes. Wave crash. Does nothing to me. I think I will just go for Whirlpool, even if he goes back into his Overpon. If he goes into Overpon and he U-turns on my Quillfish. He U-turns on my Quillfish. I should be fine. But I do need my T-Spikes back up. I'll just click Whirlpool once. Just click Whirlpool once. Because I can click Protect after. Tornadus comes out. It's kind of smart, to be honest. Okay. That's kind of smart for him. Let's click Protect once. Okay. He clicks Knock. Knock a U-turn. Alright. I mean, you are my switch in, but you don't do anything. I do still want my T-Spikes up. It's hard for me to click my screens when the stupid stupid Weezing has defog. So, but I can just set up my screens and go into Graveyard and just dance something. He doesn't switch in on it at all. So let's just do this. He goes into Gouging Fire, we go back into Politoad. Like, I know I'm going against the plan here. Yeah, okay. And that's fine. This is fine. I think we bait in the Gouging Fire, which obviously isn't ideal. But he has shown that the Tornadus is switching for Politoad. That's interesting. Ogerpon comes out. Do I care? Electivire. Ogerpon. Oh. Lol. I go into Quillfish. I set up my T-Spikes. I go into Braviary. If he goes into Balafin, I have to gain some momentum though. Honestly, I do not need Electivire against the Pokemon that he still has left. So I think I'd rather like a Reflect. Just like I the Cudgel, okay. I live. Cudgel. How much is Dragapult going to do to Weezing? I should do something with Shadow Ball. I mean, I kinda should just go into Ogerpon Wellspring here. But that's a bad play. Do I live a U-turn? Ogerpon, Electivire, Reflect is up. I'm at 64. I actually do live a U-turn. Yes, good. Okay. Tornadus comes out. Perfect. Nice. Go into Bolt. Go into Dragapult immediately. Click a Shadow Ball. What's coming out? Weezing. I don't think this takes two. It really shouldn't. It doesn't. Let's go, Bolt. Let's go, Bolt. Kill this Weezing too. Please. Yes. Okay. We're looking really strong at the moment. Here comes Ogerpon. I have weakness policy. I am going for this Dragon Dart. I maybe should have Galva who do more, but like, yeah, Dragon Dart is a lot more to Ogerpon. Okay. Go on. He's scarfed. Scarfed Ogerpon. Interesting. Tornadus. This thing should also just die to my Dragapult now. Come on, Bolt. Not yet. I just like Dragon Darts again now. Yes, Thorn dies as well. Let's go, Bolt. Let's go, Bolt. Balefin, Gouging, and Overpull remain. We are looking decent, people. We are looking very decent. Ogre Pond comes out. I don't care. How many turns of screens do I have left? No. 2. Make the Dragon Darts. Next knockoff. That triggers my weakness policy. Take this thing out too cold. Take this thing out too cold. Come on now. Come on, Bolt. Take this thing out. Nice, Bolt. Let's go, champ. Let's go, Dragapult. Oh my days. Oh my days. Here comes the Palafin. Dragon Darts does more. Let's take Dragon Darts then. Go on, Bolt. Go on, Bolt. Go on, Bolt. I think this thing dies as well. I think Bolt is doing this. Come on, Bolt! Bolt, my goat! I think I'm claiming my MVP as well right here. I don't think this Gouging Fire has any chance of beating me. Let's go, Dragapult. Let's fucking go, Dragapult. Don't be booster speed. Don't be booster speed. Boosted attack. I think this is over. I think this is over. I think Dragapult is taking 5. I think Dragapult is taking 5. Let's fucking go, people. Let's fucking go. Electivire with the screen. Spolt with the 5 kills. I think this is 6-0 for me. Ah! GG's to Mike. We're making finals. Let's go, team. I hope he didn't throw his switch. Alright, we'll make finals. Let's go. I'll see you next week for finals of MMC. I'm so happy my plan worked. Thank you all for watching. GG's to Mike and peace.